Alright guys, for this clip I've decided I'm just going to go ahead and do it myself, first person. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and fill in the walls. So I'm going to time lapse from here. Alright guys, so there we go. That is what we did. So it's really quite random. Like, you can do whatever tutor design that you want to do. It really doesn't matter. It's just the design that I chose to do. So what we're going to be doing right now is just going to be adding in a little bit of detail along here, just like this. And I'll show you what we're going to be doing really quick. So we're just going to be adding in stuff like this. Basically like little pillars of the cobble wall metadata, just like that, all the way up. And then what you do here is you do this, just like that, just like a little arch kind of thing. Just adds a little bit of detail, makes it look pretty nice. And then for here and there, you add in these dark blocks like that. And then let's go ahead and do this porch really quick. So let's go ahead and add in these. Let's just do this all the way around really quick. And then we're going to change these trapdoors into the extreme hills biome. So we got to find the right metadata. So where is it? Somewhere in here, or this is the biome, sorry. Right there. All right. And we're going to just go ahead and change all of those into the normal biome, just like that. And so that works out just like that. And then here we go ahead and add in the little sticks just like that, and that's going to add in some detail there. And then here we add in another sort of like cross section like that, and that again is going to add in detail. That's what, the big thing is adding in detail. It's kind of a difficult thing to do because detail typically turns out to be one of the harder things to figure out how to do, but I'm going to try to give you guys a good idea of what to do with it. So anyway, we're going to go across like that. Actually, it's going to go across one more. It's like two little cross beams up here, just sort of like support the roof up a little bit, and it gives it just some more support, which is important. And now what we're going to do is adding in these little like window panes, not window panes, but the trap doors that sort of act like shutters. So anyway, we got to make sure we have the right metadata, and we're just going to do this all the way around. It doesn't really matter where they are. You just as long as you have them in, that's what's important. Just kind of like wherever, and you make sure that you have them on all the windows. So like one there, and then we only need one more, which is going to be right there. And now you got to change the biome of them. So let's just change the biome until we get to the roofed forest biome. There it is right there, roofed forest mountains. And you just want to make sure that that is the same all the way around. So all the shutters need to be this biome. And as you can see, it looks good in the end by doing this type of biome. So now here is like a little bit of a tricky part, because like not even I'm really aware of like how to do this. I didn't look at the other side. I mean, I guess I could really quick just to give an idea. So anyway, yeah, just arches in the middle just like that, and then we do another little arch kind of thing there. So basically it goes like this: 1 2 flat flat 1 2. and then it goes up like this. And then same thing here. It looks like it needs to go up one more. 1, 2, and 3. And then up here, it just becomes like this. So let's go up into here, and then let's go ahead and roof this in. Well, this is not the roof, this is the floor. The floorboards. And then that sort of holds that up. And I guess we can just go ahead and make it too thick. And then right here and right there, we can go ahead and add in, make it so that it's the spruce texture of the fences. And then voila. And we'll do that there. So it kind of makes it look a little wonky, but it adds in a nice texture. And then another little detail that we can add in is some ropes on the logs. So this is like this isn't like necessary or anything, but it's just something that you can add in for extra detail. But anyway, I just want to add in some extra rope textures here. So whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Here we go, we'll do that. But anyway, let's just go ahead and do that. And we'll do this all the way around. We'll put one there. Actually, I think what we're going to do is just put one there and then just take that one out. And then one there. And then we want to go this one across like that. And so this is where it gets tricky because they're all different. And then so like one there. Definitely one there. You won't be able to see it underneath all the stuff once it's done, but that looks pretty good for now. Maybe one here as well. That's gonna be a good little detail, and one there, but you won't be able to see that one eventually. So anyway, that's just some detail just like that. We're gonna put some firewood there and stuff later on, but yeah. So let's go ahead and now do the roof. And it's really quite general how you do the roof, but hopefully we'll be able to say it clearly. Be right back. Alright guys, so now what we're going to do is the roof, and it's really quite general. You just go ahead and connect it. Now you can make this any material you want, but what I am using is this gray stone, or the gray clay, just like this. Now it does look blue, but it is supposed to be gray clay. And but yeah, you just kind of connect it all the way across, and you yeah, just like this. It's really quite simple doing it this way. And you do that all the way across like that. And now I'm just going to be doing this side and just showing you how I'm going to be doing this. And so let's just go ahead and add in some of the detailing. So this is something that I always do with, not always, but I typically do with my roofs, is I randomize the steps into it. And as you can see, these are the nether brick stairs metadatas, and I'm really glad that he finally added in. But as you can see, it adds in that extra bit of texture, makes it look really nice towards the end. And so another thing that we need to add, obviously, is these little bits here. And this is going to be a little bit interesting. I'm just going to do one side and the other. But what you do is, let me just see this really quick. So yeah, it comes straight up from the log, and it comes straight up from that side over there too. Okay, so what you need to do is this there and that there. So it's only 3 wide. One there and one there. And then on the inside, you go ahead and take Tutor, and you go 1, 2, 3, there, and 1 there. And then that is going to be your little window bit right there. So it's just like a little gable thing, just like to add a little bit more room upstairs. So maybe this is where the attic is, and it's level with the other windows. So it just adds in a little bit more detail, makes it look a little bit nicer. And basically, you just do the same thing here. Just do this across, just like that. And then the roof will go up along there. But as you can see, it's just really simple. It's, you know, not too complicated. It's a little bit complicated if you think about it too hard, but it's, yeah, it's not bad. Now, the only thing though is I forget if that goes across. It does. Okay. So I thought it did, but anyway, yes, it goes across like that, and it goes across like that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and time lapse this, and then we'll move on to our next section of the roof. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started on the roof here, well, on the little top bits here. As you can see, as you know, I've randomized the roof, made it go all the way around and such. And what we need to do is add in these bits, and they need to come all the way out just like that. Now, it's rather important to do this like this because it really adds in an extra like oomph to the roof. Like if you just had a plain roof, it wouldn't look so good. But if you add in these little flicky bits, like what James would call them, that's what you know, it really adds in that extra bit of detail. So anyway, it's just kind of like this little round wheel on top, just like that. And then you go ahead and add in another one like that, and then you add in that like that, and it makes it look pretty good. And then obviously you add in these things up here, and you use the same wood as the shutters. Now technically the extreme hills would look better, and it's probably would be a better thing to use if you use the extreme hills biome, but for you know, the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to keep it the regular. But anyway, that's a little border piece there. And then you just do the same thing here. As you can see, it's just like a little flicky bit. Whoops. There, and then you put the half slab there. And I'll do it one more time before I move on and then show you new things. Also, you need to add in those little half slabs underneath. But you need to add in just like that. It looks like just like a wheel. And make sure that you have the trapdoors like that. We can't forget the trapdoors. One on top of there, and then one there, upside down, and then like that. Okay, so a next important thing to do is you go 2 in from there, and you do something like this, 1 and 2. And then you go 3 in. Actually, don't forget about that. Not yet. We're gonna do this. 1, 2, 3. I can't quite decide on things that I want to do, but then I'm like, well, I can't do that until I finish this over here. And I'm like, oh, darn. So anyway, there we go. 1, 2, and I'm pretty sure there's a space of 3 in the middle, so we do a 2 space in. Oh, I gotcha. All right, so, and then it's a 3 space here. 1, 2, 3, and then it's like this, and then obviously that's 1, 2, 3 as well. And you go ahead and place a middle piece on like that. You place the trapdoors in, like so, and then now this is going to go like this. So you just take out the 2 flicky bits like that, and that works out just like that. I'm getting to the point where I'm a little tired, and I start saying things that I don't even know what I'm saying. So, but anyway, you do that all the way up and around, and then do this, out, flicky bit here. And then you go 2 in, 1 there, and then you do, I forget how this is done. Okay, so it's 3 and then 1. So it goes 3 in, just like this, and then you do 1 there, and you make sure that this is like that. And now you go ahead and change all of those into the right biome. So we're gonna go ahead and grab those and go all the way around just like this. Make sure that all of that is done correctly. There, 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 and yes, that looks good. That looks good. And there. So very good. Now the top portion of this building is now correct. Now we need to border the roof. And now this is just something really simple. All you got to do is just kind of do this all the way along. And that's how you make it look really nice, is the bordering of the roof really makes it stand out. And we do this all the way around. And then for like this portion, we do this. So this is just a little bit different. But basically it's like this all the way along. Here, we'll just make sure that we get it correct all the way through. And then there's one spot where it becomes 2. I guess it's right there, yeah. And then on top of this, you go ahead and do something like this. So you make sure it's like that. And then underneath here, you bank all of these into fence gates. All the way along. So we're gonna put a fence gate there, 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 and there. And now you gotta make sure that those are all the correct biomes. like that. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, the detail is coming along, looking better, looking good. And we're going to go ahead and add in some cobble wall textures up here like that. And this side is looking marveloso. Marvelosio. Marvelosio. All right. And the next little bit that we need to do is this here. Now, this is more of a tertiary thing, but like you don't even need to add on this little outhouse thing if you don't want to. It's more of a fantasy kind of thing, but I just really thought it'd be a cool idea to add in this little outhouse thing, just like that. And then you go ahead and border that in really quick. It's really simple. Yeah, just like this. It's really doggone simple. Add it in. Go ahead and do that. And the same thing over here. Go ahead and put that there and that like that. And then boom, that's done. So now I'm just going to go ahead and time lapse me. Go ahead and do the border all the way around. I'm also going to go ahead and place stairs underneath there really quick, and should be good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it almost. I mean, we still got a little bit to do, and I'm going to go ahead and do the exterior details and stuff, but as for the house itself, this thing is pretty much done. Now, so a little detail you could add to here is just, let me just get it correct, there we go. You can add a couple fence gates just like this, just to add in some more detail along the bottom. It adds a little bit more support just like that, and we'll do the same thing there, and it just makes it look a little nicer just like that. And so anyway, this is where they would take a crap, but anyway, now let's just go ahead and start adding details around. I mean, it's really kind of simple. I'm gonna do the interior off camera. There's no reason for you guys to watch me do interiors, as that would get pretty boring. So yeah, we're just going to do the interior off camera, but as far as doing this on camera, we're going to go ahead and do the blacksmith part. Now this is like obviously the entire reason we're doing this tutorial, so we're just going to go ahead and do this really quick. Now that is obviously the furnace to our blacksmith. And you go ahead and add in a couple cobble walls. Make sure that we're going to make them iron. Why? Because I think iron would be a good contrast block here. And let's go ahead and get some stone slabs and go boom, 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 and a-ba-ba-boom. A-ba-ba-boom. Yes, that is a new thing. All right, so there we go. Now what we're going to add over here is a little workbench. So let's go ahead and add a workbench here. And then we need a place for our great and mighty anvil. Like, I'm not gonna build like the normal anvil, I'm building my own great and mighty anvil. So this is what I do for my version of an anvil is well, it's not my version of an anvil, it's just the version of an anvil that I'm doing here, but basically it's just two upside down nether brick stairs, one there and one there. Trust me, a lot of people have done an anvil like this before. But anyway, off that subject. So anyway, let's just go ahead and add in a bucket of water now. Maybe right there, because you need a place to sizzle the sword, because it's going to be pretty hot, I imagine. And then here is like a little place where they can take like molten steel and sort of mold it and use it. So we need to change that into stone, right, like that. And then that sort of like adds a little place where like they can you know, take molten steel and shape it and stuff, mold it and such things like that. Now the bellows is quite small. It's nothing really special. It's just this little thing here. I didn't really put too much effort into it, but you guys can come up with something much better. I am absolutely sure, and I am sure that it would be a lot better than what I came up with there. But anyway, let's go ahead and grab some iron ore, because obviously iron ore is a pretty good thing to have in a blacksmith right there. And then how about some wood, because wood is what would keep the fire going. So there we go, got some wood there. One a little bit off, but that's okay. And another thing that we can add in is obviously some pressure plates like this. And this, like we'll put a sword there, maybe a hammer of sorts there, and then a hammer there as well, I think would be pretty cool. And then let's go ahead and put some hay storage here. It doesn't really, maybe there's a way that sparks could get over here and light this all up, but I don't think that it would. I think the hay would be pretty safe over here from the fire. That's just my opinion. I think that I think the hay would be just fine right there. And you can go ahead and just place in some random stuff like that. Even though it would be pretty hot in here and such, like I said, I just feel that the hay would be okay at this vicinity. Now let's go ahead and add in some hay and stuff for the horse here. Whoops. We want to make sure that we have the right block. There we go, right there. And then we'll just go ahead and add in our yellow carpets around, just like that. And then we'll do the same thing in there. It doesn't really matter. That's just the stables in there. So you guys get the idea that's where the horse would be. Now for the gate, now it doesn't really matter. I don't really do the landscaping of this because I built this actually on a plot on the creative server. Well, this is the creative server still. This is in the architect world. But yeah, this is on the architect world. So, but it was built on a plot. So that's why it's built so flat. I don't usually build stuff flat, but you guys get the idea. And so that is how you do that. And you got your forge here. So now what we need is a smelter. Now I will go ahead and do this really quick all the way around. And then we'll go ahead and take stone brick stairs. Put that there, 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 and there. And there, and there, and like that. And it's pretty simple to build this up, but it's just like this. Now it's not all going to be stone brick. It's going to change into cobble towards the top. But yeah, we're just going to do this all the way around, just like that. And now I think is when we're going to change into cobble. But let's go ahead and grab some cobblestone, and then let's grab some cobble stairs, and go ahead and change all this into cobble like that. And we'll go ahead and do this under the cobble, sort of under like that. And then it will go up again like this. And then I think I did something wrong here. Oh yes, that's what I did. Okay, my bad. So these are supposed to be like that, and then up here is where the glass would be. So like this is a really cool texture that you can use. It's actually made for using as arrow slits, but it uses that works well for that too. So anyway, I fire, and we're just gonna go ahead and fill this all up full of fire. And this here is the smelter. It's sort of a Skyrim inspired smelter. I mean, it really looks really nice. I like it a lot. But anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and do that, and then we can go ahead and do that, and change those into the metal. If we can ever find it. There we go. The metal's right there. And then that is how you would smelt the stuff. Then you can put a chicken coop over there, some added detail around there and stuff. I sort of finished this over here, sort of give you an idea as you get the idea. There's a chicken coop there. This is a smelter there, and you got a little bit of iron next to it. There's some more detail around here, and I have the chains hanging down and such. you know, that's another idea. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do the interior off camera really quick, and then we can come back to it, and then this is a finished blacksmith. And hopefully, just hopefully, you guys have been able to follow along, even though I've been really rushing it and trying to get it done. But yeah, I really hope that you guys were able to follow along. But anyway, let's go ahead and do the interior. Alrighty guys, and there we go. I went ahead and finished the interior of this. Now, it's not spick and spam and amazing, but it is an interior, sort of gives you the idea, a place for them to eat and drink and be merry and do all the things that they need to do. This is sort of like a little table for where he can prepare whatever he has, you know, whatever kind of, you know, he needs to prepare, say a sword, he needs to do the hilt of it or whatever. This is where he would do that. He would sit here, sort of in the kitchen area. This is where the cooking would be done. Got some little storage space here and stuff like that. And then if we go upstairs, there's a lot more storage space. This here is the privy, so you can go out here and use the restroom, go do the doo-doo, if you know what I mean. Got the kids' room in here, and this is where all the kids can be. There's 2 kids in this case, and then they got a little desk there to do all the logistical stuff. Here's the bedroom, the main bedroom, and as you can see, this is what's above the actual blacksmith area, and that's where they live. And then if you go up here, this is the attic, and then this is sort of like really dark up here, but sort of gives you the idea. There we go, get some light in here. But yeah, as you can see, there's like a little bird nest up here demonstrated by the blue jay. And then, yep, that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully you are able to follow along. That is my worst fear, is that you guys weren't able to follow along very well. For some of you, if you guys are quick-minded and quick to figure it out, I'm sure that you would have, you know, done well on this. But as you can see, this is sort of the finished version over here, and it gives you the idea of you know, what the building is. And we went ahead to build this, and I'm just so happy that we did this, and because, you know, this is my 3rd take that I've done, and I'm happy with this one. I feel like we did pretty well. So anyway, guys, if you guys like this video, please like. If you guys want to see more, please subscribe. Don't forget that I have a Facebook and a Twitter. You guys can connect with me there. I do sporadic, or I will be doing, and if we get to the point where I am, and I do give away games, Steam codes every now and then. So if you follow me over there, you might just get the opportunity to catch one of those games when I give them away. Also, I have a Twitch, and that's where I build Seabridge and such, and so you guys can follow me over there and keep up with me. And yeah, I'm really excited about our future, the future of this channel, and hopefully you guys are as well. But anyway, till next time, guys, bye-bye.